Hello and welcome along to a special edition of the Andrew Eborn Show, where I'm delighted to be joined by Saskia Griffiths-Moore. How are you, Saskia?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad, not too bad. And we've had lots of musicians on the show over the pandemic period, and it's been an extraordinary time for the industry, hasn't it?
It's been exceptional. It's been hard. It's been amazing to see how creative people have been, and I'm so curious to find out what other musicians have been doing. I know what I've done, but it's been such an unprecedented time for us.
And I'll tell you what, an unprecedented time for the use of the word unprecedented is what I.
I know.
Yes. But
Yeah.
artists have become really, really creative. A good friend of mine, Toya, with her husband, Robert Fripp, have been coming up with these wonderful videos every week, which they do. And lots of artists have tried their hands at Zoom, concerts and various other things. So they
I've
are
seen more
really
live
getting
streams to last the rest of my life, I think.
there. I know.
Yeah.
As they used to say in Dad's Army, we're all Zoomed.
Well, we are now.
I'll tell you what. And you had a brilliant album out on the 31st of
Oh,
July.
bless you. Thank you.
2020. I've been listening to that virtually non-stop. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
And you've been planning to go around, what, 5 different countries to tour that album.
We
Um,
had some very big tours planned, and obviously that was right when it was just beginning. So we pulled everything down, and I kind of expected that things wouldn't really pick up until the end of 2021. And so far, we're on track for that prediction. I knew I was going to have to sort of do a very sharp about turn and adapt because you have to adapt if you want to continue.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And Glastonbury, they've just announced, sadly, has been cancelled. So
I saw
all of
that.
these things, and we were all hoping for
Mm.
things to go forward. So 31st of July, 2020, fantastic album. Are you listening? You were going to do these 5 countries, but you changed course, didn't you? What did you
I
do?
did, yeah. Instead, I wanted to find a way to have some kind of meaningful response to the pandemic and the fact that we were all locked inside. And instead of cancelling the whole album release and all of the tours, I mean, we took down all of our dates, but instead we crowdfunded to do a charity release for the album and we took it to care homes in the West Country. And this was at a time before people were really doing that. It was the first time for a lot of places that they'd had anyone from the outside world come in. And we had to mask up as we were going in, hand sanitizer everywhere. They even cleared like hallways so we could come in and set up the instruments. And then we would be outside with the other residents, care home residents, also outside or behind screens, but still they were there with us, even if they were much further away than they would have been otherwise. And we got to tour the album and we got to bring some entertainment to those people.
And concerts in care homes is such a lovely idea. I've seen a lot of the footage that you've put out on your
Oh,
own YouTube channel. And
yes.
what I love about music, it's the great unifier, isn't it?
Yes, really. It creates a shared experience for everyone and it takes us out of wherever we've been in our lives and in ourselves, even if it's just for those 3 or 5 minutes or the hour of a concert, and hopefully lift us up so that when we come back, we have more energy, more connection to other people, and a new perspective.
Absolutely. And the other thing about music as well, it's really good for therapy. And some of the great things, some of the great moments during lockdown that we've seen are people who've had suffered from dementia. We've had that fantastic composer who composed and #1 of the charts again with his wonderful composition. But also you're seeing a fantastic ballerina who for many years had just been sat in a chair, been afflicted, I think, by dementia and other ailments. And she
Mm.
listened to some of the music she played, and I think it was from Swan Lake. And you could
Mm.
see her gradually doing the movements again. And it was
Mm.
such a beautiful moment, wasn't it?
There's so much that we don't know about how we relate to music, and I feel a lot of it is very intuitive. We go because we like it and we don't know why, and it makes us move or tap our feet subconsciously, and we still don't know why, but we don't, I mean, at least for me, I don't need to know why. It's enough that I like it and that it's a shared experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing which is great as well is for therapy, not of all ages, there's the wonderful charity Nordorf Robbins who we do a lot of stuff with,
Mm,
and
mm,
music therapy for
mm,
kids in particular, and the way that you can connect by picking up an instrument. I've also been working with Errol Kellendy. We did this drumathon raising
mm,
money for the NHS during this time. And they were
mm.
talking about how drumming is really good for mental health as well.
Isn't it extraordinary how music can be so many things? It can be a language and a therapy for people, and it can also be an expression of words, poems, it can be an expression of spirituality, it can be a concert, it can be moving, it can be uplifting, it can bring you down, it can be subconscious or very intellectualized. It is a whole world. Isn't that incredible?
Absolutely amazing. Now we're going to come on to your other really exciting project and the background for it, but you've got your guitar behind you, and it doesn't take too much for a musician, but I would love for you to play a few bits and pieces for us. I tell you what, one of my favorites is that wonderful one which I'm virtually in tears every time I hear it, called For You.
Oh, bless. I would love to perform that one, but I would really want to have my string quartet with me.
I thought, and when I heard it is that one also, it's a big string quartet, it's a massive choir, all of that was crowd.
We had a choir of 40 people with us to record that, and for me, when the choir kicks in, it still brings tears to my eyes because it builds up in such a sort of sweet and simple way, and then all of a sudden you have this resonance of people saying, "You'll find it, don't worry, it's there, don't worry, you'll find it," and I find that very uplifting.
And it's very, very powerful. And there have been a lot of choirs in lockdown, getting lots of these choirs. We've seen the NHS choir. We had the rock choir on the show with hundreds of people all singing a song. And there is something about many, many voices coming together, which really gets to the core of your whole soul, doesn't it?
It does to me too. So I'd feel like I'd be betraying the song if I played it without. So would you be all right if I chose a different one?
I think I would. What are you going to choose for us?
Instead, I would like to play a new one for you. This is called You and I, and it will be on an upcoming record at some point. Date unscheduled as of yet, but if it's all right with you, I'd like to just play it out and see how it goes.
I think that's fine. It will be perfect. You and I, Saskia, over to you.
All right. This is a song about friendship. That's all I want to say about it, really. Spinning out into your day again, having made all your mistakes. Do we lose or do we win this time? Can you learn to trust a friend? Give it time and rise. Be the phoenix flying into the light. It is worth the fight. In a world that's getting harder, we'll change it for the better. You and I. You and I. Feelings rush into your veins again, smiling softly through your eyes. A little magic has returned this time, but if you would lose your sight, I will be there when the world is dark as hell. I care. We will work on this together and change it for the better. You and I. You and I. You and I. you.
absolutely sensational. And what I love about this show as well is that I get serenaded by some of the best musicians and fantastic people. So,
I
as I,
know this does feel like a private concert.
I know it's great, isn't it? This is what I get. So it's the only reason I do the show. It's kind of, that is brilliant. So that's a new one, not yet
That's a new
out.
one, and it's not out anywhere. That's just for you and people who are
And
tuning in
it's
here.
exclusive. Well, it's for you and I, basically.
It's for you and
See what I
I.
did there? The
I see what
popsters.
you did there.
Hey, no, there's. And talking of that, it's never too late to be what you might have been, as George Eliot so famously said. And what I love about, apart from your touring the different care homes during this extraordinary time, you've come up with this fantastic competition. I call it fantastic. I don't use the word lightly because
Oh,
talent is timeless, as you rightly said. And you set
I
up this
believe that.
competition for over 50s. I'm not quite there yet, but over 50s and songwriters and talent. Tell me about that. How did that come about?
Well, this protracted lockdown period is what really kicked it off for me. I've long felt that the ageism that you come across in the music industry is just misplaced. There is definitely a place for youth culture and the exuberance of young people, but there is just as much of a place for people as they mature into life and as they gain life experiences and better songwriting skills. There is no reason why people should be discounted in the music industry because they are older. And if anything, I think it should be respected and valued. So, together with that feeling and the fact that we're all still stuck inside, I wanted to connect people around this theme. And initially, I didn't think it was going to be such a big project. I just thought for my fans and people that I can't tour to, that it would be a fun way to keep them connected, to just start a little acoustic songwriting competition. And I asked around with my friends in the industry to see what prizes we could line up. And as it turned out, people were more passionate about this than I expected, and they really took it to heart. Both the businesses and the musicians that have come on to judge or to support the project. And we just topped 1,000 people this morning, which for me is huge. I only expected a few hundred really, and we haven't even opened the competition yet. This is pre-registrants, and it's increasing sort of minute by minute as I keep checking as I would. So this is a songwriting competition exclusively for people who are 50 years or older and living in the UK. It's free to enter, despite people asking me that on a daily basis. I think it's hard to get through their minds that they don't have to pay to enter, and they don't have to get anyone they know to vote. It's being judged by the musicians and the industry people that are part of the team.
And
And
what a team that is. I mean, we come on to the.
it's a good bunch of people.
You've assembled everything. You've got my old mate Tony Moore there and Chris Griffiths and lots of wonderful people. I mean, a huge, actually, talk about thousands of people. You've got thousands of judges, haven't you? Where did you get them all from?
I have a lot of judges, but we're going to have a lot of songs to judge, so I'm very grateful for their support. I've been so impressed by how people have stood up for this. I think it's like a magic combination of people not having things to do in the lockdown and believing in the cause and wanting to just connect people and share music, and for once let it not be about the person's popularity or how attractive they look or how young they look or what their social media stats are. This is just about the songwriting, and I've loved how many people have engaged with this. And I think a lot of people are entering just for fun and because they get to share their music with their friends, but there are some serious prizes for the winner.
Oh no, we'll come on to the prizes, but what I love is, firstly, as you rightly say, it costs nothing. Everybody's favorite four-letter word, free. It's free to enter, because sometimes competitions, they charge you something. Sometimes, as you say, it's a popularity contest, get all your mates to phone up. What I love, it's judged by, some of these are fantastic, well, all of them are fantastic names in the industry, but people like Chris Gifford, who would normally be doing a songwriting course. I know he's doing it online now, isn't he?
Yeah, I actually did his course online in the spring last year, which is how I got to know about him. I'd booked for the in-person thing, and then it got cancelled, and we did it online. And he is a fantastic songwriter and also a fantastic songwriting coach. So I'm very blessed that he's agreed to be part of this and to help judge and also provide a workshop for the winner and the runners-up.
And talk to me about some of the, I mean, it's difficult to pick up because you've got so many judges, but who are the other highlights that you would say? Because you're cross-section of judges, haven't you?
Yes, we specifically made a cross section, so we were very careful to make it a diverse group of judges. And we have up there Ian Matthews from Kasabian, we have Tony Moore, who you know of Iron Maiden, we have Little
And
Boots,
Cutting Crew, don't forget that one.
and Cutting Crew.
Everybody always says, it's Tony Moore from Iron Maiden. They forget his Cutting Crew thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and Cutting Crew, I'll add that in. We have Little Boots,
Yeah.
we have Els Bailey, we have General Levy, we have Mickey Blue. We've got songwriters, we've got industry professionals, we've got Pablo Ettinger from Cafe Nero stood up for this competition as well and has promised to help out with the winner and playlisting their songs, but he will also be helping to judge. We have Ray Jones, we have Jay Mystery, we have I think 18 or 19 people, so I can't list them all.
Oh, no, I was gonna, it's rather like an early version of the Generation game where the final thing you have to do is there's a cuddly toy on the conveyor belt somewhere. It's a reference. But yeah, absolutely.
Too many people.
Jay I've known for many years as well from the industry.
Good.
So you've got a combination of people who are singer-songwriters themselves, you've got teachers in there, you've got industry professionals. And all of that is really, really helpful. What I was going to ask you, though, is not how will they eliminate the various people? You're one of the judges as well. How will you start whittling people down?
Well, it depends on how many submissions we have. We've had
over 1,000 already.
I know, we've already got 1,000 and we haven't even opened yet. So when we started doing this, I remember one of my colleagues who was working on this with me looked at me and she's like, do you have the capacity to handle, say, 5,000 plus entries? But as it happens, none of us are doing anything else at the moment. So this is our full-time job. And as we would need, we will be able to hire people. And we've had an offer of some interns from a prominent organisation in London as well, should we need to borrow their workforce to simply filter through it, because I can't get these incredibly important and busy judges to sift through thousands of songs. So however many there will be a filtration process before it gets to the top, say 200 to 500, and then it starts being sent out to the judges and filtered down from there.
And the other thing I love about it as well, it's a test of songwriting. So it's not about production values. You don't have to go to these incredible studios such as Abbey Road, one of the prizes. We'll come on to that in a bit. You can do it on your phone. You can record your song. It doesn't matter if you're not a singer yourself. What happens is you are finding the best song, aren't you?
That's completely right, Andrew. We're just looking for, we're not judging them on their performance and we're not judging it on the production. We're just listening to people's original songs. And songwriting and performing are actually two separate skills. They don't always go together. I can think of some examples, but
well, you mentioned poor old Bob Dylan last time.
I was going to mention Bob Dylan.
I heard that interview. Bob is brilliant. I love Bob, both as a performer and as a writer.
You know what? I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I've heard the interview. I've heard what you did on the BBC.
He is okay. Oh damn it! It's out. He's a legendary performer, but he's not renowned for having the most beautiful voice. And my point is that sometimes that doesn't matter, and sometimes people's songwriting, they feel more comfortable if someone else is singing it. So that is fine as well. The songwriter doesn't have to perform, and the idea is that they can do it from home, and that we can do this whole competition while we're all in lockdown, while we're sheltering and protecting everyone else. And instead of focusing on how far apart from each other we are, we can start to develop a new community. So what's happened is that I've created a Facebook group for most of the people who are on Facebook, and they've already started sharing and uploading and commenting on each other's songs and giving useful feedback. And I did a live stream in there yesterday to answer some questions, and it is incredible to see this like new supportive community of songwriters who are 50 plus living in the UK who are entering this competition. Whether they're ambitious about the prizes or not, I don't really know, but they're being very friendly at the moment. So it's
I love that. Really, really positive thing. Well, we're going to come on to the prizes and also the fact that it's can also be collaboration, not necessarily competition. We're going to come on to that, but maybe I can persuade you to give us another song. What would you like to do?
Of course. I would like to sing you a song called Let in the Light.
Okay, Let in the Light. Great advice. Over to you.
This is a song about feeling free, and it is a reminder to myself and to anyone else ever been in a situation where they've forgotten temporarily that you have complete freedom to just leave any situation that doesn't work for you. you get one life, and some people will work with you and some people work against you. So this is a little reminder about freedom. Life moves around yourself yourself as you move around the edge of a little point in space. And when you change, those flashes full of life touch you on the inside, and you do not remain. So keep those treasured people near, 1,000 memories so clear. Don't compromise your way, 'cause you get one time upon the earth, time that isn't worth anyone who doesn't spin like you. So don't waste your time with those who don't know who you are. Let in the light, 'cause you are free. Oh, you are Life is a million years young, a million times around the sun. You breathe it every day, and we have freedom to remain with people who are vain, or to make a little change. So don't waste your time with those who don't know who you are. Let in the light, 'cause you are free. Oh, you are free. So step forward into life. I want to see you shining bright, brighter than the sun. And the path laid before your eyes will open up so wide if you should decide to not waste your time with those who don't know who you are. Let in the light, 'cause you are free. Oh, you are free. Yes, you are free. Now you are free. Oh, yes, you're free.
Normally at this stage in these big festivals, people go carrying you out in amongst all the like that. I'm supposed to be
No.
clapping like a solitary seal in the corner. It's got to be good. Do you
Well,
miss
usually it happens. I like to get people to sing along with me at concerts. So I would usually get the whole room kind of singing this like "You are free, you are free, you are free" over and over. It's the same with the song I did before. It's just there's nothing nicer for me, and this has kind of come through in the Talent is Timeless project, that I want everybody to participate, and I want them to be part and like feel part of this. This is something we create together, whether it's a concert experience or now it's this. And like in the competition, in the live stream yesterday, I did a Q&A, and the participants were saying like, Saskia, when are you going to start a festival for us? I was like, I'll think about it. I was thinking of doing a concert, but as much as I love to perform, I also love to share the stage with other people who also deserve it. So I feel like this is very much, just part of who I am as an artist and part of what I'm trying to do in the world.
And that's what I mean. We've seen from the very early stages of when people were in lockdown. We had the Lady Gaga concert, and
Mm,
artists such as the Rolling Stones, who would normally be playing massive stadiums to zillions
yeah.
of people. And what I loved is get the four of them all do a little Zoom call with Charlie Watts banging. I think it was probably his saucepans or something. And hilarious. But a lot of artists say they do miss that interaction with the crowd.
Of course, but it's just evidenced by how much all the musicians are still out here trying to play music, trying to engage with people, even though it's not bringing them any money anymore and they can't tour anymore. And, like a lot of the interaction is missing. At the very least, at least we're trying to do this stuff over Zoom. We're still trying to be together in a socially distanced way. And I think that just shows how strongly we all want to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the economics, as you say, that the economics of the business has completely changed. So a lot of musicians out there normally be earning money from performing live. Obviously, that's all gone. Gary Newman has recently highlighted that in spite of the popularity of £1 billion generated through online streaming, it is 50% of the income from the music industry. As an artist, very little amount trickles down. He gave the example. He was saying that 1 million streams, for example, of one of his classic hits, he would get reams and reams and reams of paper saying how much it was. In the end, he got £37.
That's insane. Is that so little? It's I'm not saying that the system is unfair because I don't know enough to look at it, and it gets very complicated with lots of people owning the songs, but it is not a substitute for a live performance, and always the best way to support the actual artist is to go to a show
Yeah.
and be part of their lives and enjoy what they have to offer, and buy their merchandise, I guess.
Yeah, I would try and support the artist in every possible way, whether it's through this, just keep engaging, so on and so forth. But the economics of the music industry has changed massively. It used to be that you did the live concerts to promote the singles, and singles sold in their zillions, million copy, that
Yeah.
one, what it would be. Now it's the other way around, or it should
It is
be.
the other way around, but this is the industry I've come into because I've only been a full time artist the last well, nearly 6 years now. Don't know where that last year went, but I've come into it meeting other people who are on the other side of it, saying how they miss the days when they would sell CDs and merchandise. But I've always come into it with the expectation that music is essentially free, and it's a calling card for a deeper experience of coming to a show or getting to know the artist a little bit better, and diving into their mad creative world usually. So it seems to me that the music, the single, the stuff that's out on Spotify is there to call people into something, but it's not itself sold. It's only a few people now that buy, like, they still buy my CDs and they still buy vinyl, but I can imagine that that's not how it used to be. But I never knew how it used to be, so this
Well,
is just the way it is for me.
the other thing which has changed a lot is this crowdfunding. Now, you seem to be an expert at crowdfunding. Talk to me about.
I don't know about expert, but I started out as a busker. So I quit my full time jobs, and I went out there on the streets and I just started performing music. Because I wanted to, and it'd be a great experiment. I was also traveling the country at the same time, and it gave me a lot of confidence. But what I noticed was that you don't have to set a fixed price for something. If people enjoy it and they see value in it, nobody has to contribute to a busker, but they like it and they'll give a smile or they'll give a pound, or there's some kind of like economy of freedom which comes underneath everything. So I give the music for free, and people want to give back to me, but they don't have to. And once I started like eating off that and making a living off that, admittedly while living in my camper van and traveling around, but it was enough to live on. I felt that kind of economics, this sort of like free economy, would likely continue. So I started experimenting with like little crowdfunding campaigns, like please help me do this. Here's all the things I can do in return. I can make a video for you. I can hand sign the CDs. I can do a special little show that's just for people who backed it, and they get to come on the whole journey with me. And I guess over the years that just escalated into how I started to get the funding together, at least initially, to make records in the first place, and then to make better records and to make more records, and it took me to where I am now. So I've been very grateful to this community of people that have stepped up. It does create a little like family, you know, like a core family that see the process from the inside out, from the very concept of like, one of mine was, I'd like to do an album in Scotland. There's a producer up there, there's a whole bunch of creative musicians. Please help me do this. And they saw that from the very idea to me going up there and writing the songs and posting updates to eventually having their names in the credits and then being able to, you know, just being posted the CD or the vinyl as a thank you for the whole experience and for helping me to fund it.
And the other thing which has happened is as well, your digital equivalent of a black book in the old days is incredible, as a result of which you've now got some fantastic prizes for the Talent is Timeless competition. Talk us through those prizes.
Well, the top prize is a record deal with Be Known Music and recording and production at Abbey Road Studios. And along with that, Snap Studios have also offered recording and artist development for some of the runners-up, and to help put their songs forward for syncs and for ads and for movies and TVs and film. Then we've got like JWC Guitars are giving a guitar to the winner, APS Speakers are giving a set of their speakers. People like Jay Mystery and Chris Panier are doing music industry consultancy sessions. And then Boo Hewardine and Chris Difford are doing songwriting retreats. We've got a whole load of stuff lined up. People were so keen to contribute. You know, after spending years of trying to ask people for stuff and convince them to do things for me, they were phoning in to say, Saskia, I want to be part of this. How can I contribute? How can my company help? How can my, you know, my business help? Or how can my platform help? And we've got festival performances and we've got music magazine features, and we will do our best. I mean, the label will do their side to promote the song on BBC and on radio and get some streams going, and we'll make a music video. I mean, we went all out.
I absolutely, and I love that, and the media have got behind it. So when it's going to be a phenomenal success, it's already a phenomenal success. Is this going to be an annual thing?
We will think about it. This is the first year that I was doing it, and I've been quite taken aback by how much people have resonated with the message and also just with the activity of signing up. So I was thinking that we had a lot of requests to go to the EU, and I might take it to Europe next year. And we also had requests from the USA, and we might take it there the year after that, but we will see, sort of circumstance. I'm not going to commit to anything right now, but it is definitely a possibility.
Fantastic. Well, it is a wonderful initiative. I know you're going to be popping back to keep us informed, because it's not even open yet. 1st of February it opens. You have 1 month to upload whatever material it is. You don't have to be a singer yourself, as we say. You can just be a singer-songwriter. And it is a collaboration and rather than just a competition. So you're not fighting with each other. You can help people collaborate. And even for part of the prize, you don't have to be in the studio. You can nominate somebody to sing your song as well. Even they can nominate you, couldn't they?
Yes, I mean, that's the idea. So if the winning songwriter doesn't want to perform themselves, they can nominate me or a singer of their choice to record the final track. But that will be very much their call.
Fantastic. It's a brilliant initiative. We look forward to your popping back and keeping us posted. But you're going to play us out with something. I know you put your guitar down.
I didn't realize I was going to play you out with something.
What are you going to play us out with?
All right. Well, let me see. One that doesn't like you. It's a song. It's called Best of You. That's it. I was trying to remember the name.
Okay, we're going to play out Saskia Griffiths-Moore. Thank you very much for joining us. Play us out with Best of You.
Don't give yourself away to someone that doesn't like you. And don't work your soul away, 'cause someday it might come in use. And I pray that you see the light that I see in your mind when you're at ease. I will wait for the time when it's right to invite you to unwind with me. I want you to feel, I want you to be the best of you, the best of you. So don't judge quickly, take the time to understand, and don't give in to prejudice 'cause we are all one of a kind. We've been tested by life just to find that inside we are like one another. It's a shame that you feel that my feelings aren't real when you cry on my shoulder. So don't push us around in life if you want someone by your side. You can't keep us around if you try to hide my little lies. I want you to feel, I want you to be the best of you, the best of you. So don't hide yourself away, there's a light inside of you. And don't believe what people say, they are not in touch with the truth. You worked hard all your life just to earn the right to relax and feel at home. I will not take away from the beauty and grace that is yours and yours alone. I want you to feel, I want you to be the best of you, the best of you, the best of you, the best of you.
Saskia, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you very much indeed. Good luck with the competition. Come back and tell us all about it. But for now, thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. So thank you again to Saskia Griffiths-Moore for joining us today as my very special guest to talk about Talent is Timeless. If you would like to be a guest on the Andrew Eborn Show, write to me at guests@octopustv.com. Don't forget to follow us on all the usual platforms, on YouTube, on Dailymotion. Follow us on Twitter at Andrew Eborn, at Octopus TV. But for now, from me, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.